go over the planetary forecast for the last few days and the few days to come, and also welcome in the Piscean new moon, which comes in about an hour. So yeah, peace, y'all. Welcome to the planetary forecast. Um, if you guys were tuned in yesterday I went over the different chakra energies and the different celestial bodies that are in those chakra energies on a tropical chart as well as a Vedic chart. So you can check into that live that I did yesterday to get that information. For this information, we're just going to go over the week. So we'll start off with Monday, February 13th. We had a waning gibbous moon. The waning gibbous moon is the moon of retribution. So this is the first moon phase after the full moon. So it's time to start clearing space, but in this space it's more so about the tangible things, the physical things in your space, getting rid of those type of things. We started that off in the Scorpio zodiac energy, so it was bringing on that energy of transformation, also sitting in your solar plexus chakra energy, so arising and bringing a rise out of your ethers in that realm of things whilst doing those activities, engaging in that lunar activity. Also, the moon was in the Libra constellation while it was in the Scorpio zodiac energy. So we had the moon near Zubin El Janubi at that time as well. Also dealing with some comets that we had in the Gemini constellation. And what I like about comets is okay, so the astronomy astronomical energy about a comet is accumulation of all the ancient stones, rocks, physical matter out in space. So it has like the earlier soils and minerals and stuff of like Earth or whatever Earth was prior to it being like this rock as we know it, as well as all the other, planets out there. And so with us having two comets going across the sky and going across the constellations that it really did bring like a energy of recollecting knowledge of like ancient interactions with other like alien species. And for those of you guys who have been tapped into Virgo Virgin Talk, we're doing our last episode tonight on alien interactions and how we interact today. So that's been such a divine alignment. But I think that it's really dope that those, you know, ancient energies have been going across the sky around the time where we start coming into that knowledge and then bringing it into today, opening our eyes to the fact that, hey, it's happening, pulling out our phones, being able to record it, see it, et cetera, et cetera. But that was the energy that we started the week off of, right? The sun entered Aquarian energy, that innovative energy, revolution energy, bringing bringing new approaches to different things, learning to detach that feminine chakral energy. And that happened around 11 p.m. on Monday. Around Tuesday, we were still in a waning crescent moon. Now we're moving from getting rid of physical things to now we're starting to get rid of intangible things like attitudes and behaviors, distractions, getting the different ways you get on in your own way, all that different stuff like that. Now we're moving into the Sagittarius zodiac energy. So, expanding your knowledge. You dealt with the transformations and stuff like that. Now it's starting to feel good because Sagittarian energy, Olukun energy is your sacral chakra. So it's your central energy, pleasure, peace. This is your sacral energy, your pleasure sensors, and where you also receive your wisdom from those transformations because some of those transformations probably didn't feel good. And also while you're feeling this, you probably still be dealing with certain transformations because you have the conjunctions of the moon with the stars in the Scorpius constellation. So even though earlier this week we were in the Sagittarius zodiac, we were still in the Scorpius constellation. So you had the moon in Graphias and the Shuba, which could involve Mars and Saturn like energy. So it's that aggressive, assertive like energy, still bringing in the new beginnings. And then you have the moon and Aries energy. So, and that's more like Mars and Jupiter. So it's still assertive and bringing in new beginnings, but it's not as like aggressive as Saturn energy. Now it's more so like bringing in the wisdom from those challenges, kind of like that hindsight, like oh, that's why I had to go through that real quick, or that's why, it actually lined up, very well after all. That's kind of like that kind of vibe that those conjunctions give. So you're either closing up patterns with those energies, as the last time the moon was around these energies was January 18th, or you're open up a new pattern with these energies. Also, Leo is rising. Y'all know I'm a Leo rising. My Leo is rising. My Jupiter is also in Leo. But anyway, the Leo constellation is rising in the sky, and that's beginning with Regulus star leading the way, and it'll be in midheaven by mid-spring. So that's exciting. In addition to that, oh yeah, just remind you guys, Pallas is prograde again in our crown chakra, third eye chakra, I believe. February 15th, still in that wanting crescent moon of getting rid of intangible things. That's really the vibe of this week, is really getting rid of intangible things, because come today at 5:50 p.m. in 1 hour, we're dealing with that sun entering Pisces energy. So it's kind of like giving you that subconscious energy and like assisting you in your electromagnetic energy. Ooh, you look nice. In that realm. So it's kind of like, in the wintertime, you're supposed to let go of certain branches and leaves and to shed those things. And so when, we move into this Piscean and also Aries energy, it's like, okay, if you shed those things like you're supposed to, you now have space to accept these new things that I, here to give you. So that's really what this week is all about as far as the moon goes, like making like the last minute cleaning, the little things in the corner, the little things you got to put away and organize and stuff. So on the 15th, we still in that moon, still in the Sagittarian zodiac energy. Mercury was the largest distance from the sun at that time. So, it might have been easy to step into certain patterns again, or certain decision making things again. And that's okay. Like little temptations to receive. And if you didn't fall into that, kudos to you. You rose above the cosmos. Venus and Neptune also started getting closer together as Venus is going through Piscean energy. Venus has entered Pisces. That happened the week prior to this. So the subconscious energy, I don't know about y'all, but my dreams have been in 1,000, and I've really been enjoying them. Some of them have been comical, some of them have been very informative and questions to things that I've been wondering, in my wake life or whatever. Um, but that's the energy of like your priorities. Venus is priorities, your self-esteem, how you feel about self, how you accumulate your wealth and your pinnacles and things like that, and just having that next to that subconscious energy. And reminding you guys, both of these are in the eighth house of transformation, that solar plexus chakra, rebirth and stuff. So expecting like new cycles in this energy, new cycles in your thoughts as far as how you collect your pinnacles, how you feel about certain things that used to, make you feel good, maybe don't make you feel good, or vice versa. Things that you never really thought about now, like, ooh, I want to try that. So, all those kind of different things are happening. I say go with it. Why not? Um, Try a little bit of everything. Also, Venus is sitting on the border of Pisces and Aquarius. Right. And that's like a difficult space, like when any planet is at a 29 degree, because, us being earthlings, I have a lot of earth in my chart, so I get really sleepy when a planet is moving from one energy to another. But you know, for a lot of earthlings, it is kind of like that difficult space, because it's a transformation. And that transition from one energy to another can be a lot, especially for the bigger planets. And this is one of the closer planets as well, so its energy is, more close, and so it's stronger. But with it sitting in between those two energies, it's kind of like, the energy of the subconscious, but also revolutionary and knowing and innovative energy. So expect a lot of aha moments and stuff like that. um Neptune will enter the Pisces constellation on March 4th, just to let you guys know too, and that's pretty exciting. And also the winter triangle of Sirius star, Betelgeuse, and Procyon, with the Monoceros unicorn head in the middle, was at midheaven earlier this week as well. So that's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle above during the winter time, but that's good energy as far as it being like, about the arts and abundance of the arts. And also Beetlejuice is more so like afterlife and ancestral energy and tapping into like the outer limits, because it is a star that's, I think it's on the path of being a nebula, or it already is a nebula. It's just not there in our eyesight yet because it's light years away. On February 16th, still in that waning crescent moon, getting rid of things. I think we got like 25 minutes of sunlight this week altogether, because we started the week off with the sunrise being at 6:55, and then it set at 5:32, right? So then by the time we get here, it says at 5:36, that's 4, and I said 4. So yeah, it's like 8 minutes. So far, we got 8 minutes of more of sunlight where I'm going with this. Thank you. Put that right there. And then we had the conjunction. So we had a new like pattern occur with Cos Borealis, which is the Sagittarius constellation. So even though we're in the Capricorn zodiac energy, we're still in the Sagittarius constellation. So you're in that energy of like starting to manifest things, building, and authority, your root chakra stuff. So maybe you around that time you wanted to get rid of some stuff that's in your root chakra, wanted to get rid of certain boundaries, or maybe find new innovative approaches to different boundaries and stuff like that. That was a good time to do that because it was a waning crescent moon in that Capricorn energy. Also around that star in the Sagittarius. So it's like changing your philosophy and your frame of mind. Also, Saturn was the farthest distance from Earth, so the different challenges you have been dealing with probably eased up around that time a little bit too, for you to be able to go back to the drawing board to do that. And that's always a breath of fresh air. As you see, as springtime starts to come, all the different things that you have been patient for in the wintertime, knowing that, the soil is still frozen. As the soil starts to thaw out, your seeds are going to start getting invoked. The rain is going to come, and that's the rain season is like the hardest time because it really starts getting nice outside with it, and it's always raining. So it's still like that little bit of patience left that you have. But um you'll start seeing retribution come around that time because the sprouting is happening, the roots are being established and stuff like that, so stuff is happening. Be patient, know that your planning and organizing is not in vain, and make sure you're still clearing out space and being completely honest about with yourself about what's not serving you, like all those little things you got on your to-do list. It's okay to put stuff on the back burner for a little while. It's okay to put a stamp in this, or something in that, and really have a focal point, and or just a different order of operations. And hopefully that's what that Venus and Neptune energy this week gave you too, because Venus energy is also about priorities and stuff like that. Maybe your mind gave you a reality check about certain order of operations you got going on. Venus enters the Pisces constellation on the 16th as well, and then Orion is in midheaven, and then you're able to start seeing more of the animal constellations that are around Orion. Lepus the Hares is on the spotlight this week of being visible underneath Orion's feet, and I think that that's cool, like a nice little alignment, because we are in the year of the rabbit, and that's also why time seems to be so much faster this year. Peace. And that's also seems to be why time seems so much faster this year than last year, because last year we were in the year of the ox, so time was like kind of like slow and steady. It was more so like going inward and building time last year, and that was cool too because we were in the year of the six last year. So that is kind of like going inward with the celestial bodies, doing your work, doing your shadow work, building yourself up, and all that different stuff like that. So that's cool. And now we're in the year of the seven, and it's like, it's gonna move kind of fast. We're going at celestial speed. Make sure you can keep up and all that. But all that anyway. the hare and the year of the rabbit, cool alignment. February 17th. That was yesterday. We're still in that Wani crescent moon of, getting rid of things, still on that intangible thing, and still in the root chakra area of things with that Capricorn energy. Because the moon is still in the Capricorn zodiac. And the sun rose yesterday at 6:50 and it set at 5:37 p.m. So now we're at what, like 10 more minutes of sunlight since Monday. um Saturn and the sun started a new pattern together. They either closed up a pattern for you or opened up a new pattern of like challenges to your ego self, your experiences, your masculine energy, as far as like, all the ex's in your expression, how you bring things into the material world, stuff like how you go about doing that kind of thing. um Saturn also reached its max brightness because it was so close to the sun. So, those kind of experiences yesterday were probably, in alignment. If you're perfectly fine with your ego and your experiences and where they're taking you, or it could have been a little friction. It depends on how you feel and where your Saturn is at right now and your relationship with your Saturn. Also, the moon in Albalda started a new pattern yesterday as well, and Albalda is a star in the Sagittarius constellation. So even though we're in the Capricorn zodiac, we're still in the Sagittarius constellation. And this star is located in the back head of the Archer. And this brings on harvest and gain. So again, coming back to the energy, like if you're in alignment, that probably was a good experience. But if you're not, it depends on what your relationship with your Saturn right now. I'm pretty, my Saturn is in Capricorn. So like I like think that I'm pretty. I could hug my Capricorn Saturn a little bit right now. It's cool. We cool. um. Also, earlier around dusk, if you were outside, the moon probably looked full to you because the earth shine was reflecting on the moon, and so it gave it like that little blue orb. And Venus has now past Neptune. Venus is still close to Neptune, but it's passing and is heading towards Jupiter. So you can expect like, new patterns and conjunctions between Venus and Jupiter around like March 1st or March 2nd, and that's like your priorities and stuff like that. Now, if you allowed your subconscious to lead the way and, assist you in these priorities and how you obtain your wealth and your sensual self and your self-esteem and stuff like that, now you can move on to the next level and receive the wisdom and the generosity and the sacral chakra energy that Jupiter has in store around March 1st, 2nd. And that's so exciting because a couple weeks after that, we're in our new beginning energy. And oh, yay. Anyway, the midheaven or the Leo constellation enters the midheaven area, the mid sky, yesterday as well. So for those of you whose Leo's rising, we here. February 18th, which is today, we started the day off at a 6% waning crescent moon. The moon rose at 6:04 a.m. and will be setting at 3:36 p.m. Now we're in the Aquarius zodiac energy, so that's the feminine side of your root chakra, and that's giving off that revolutionary energy, your innovative ideas, learning how to detach from certain things to make space for new boundaries. Oh, you look nice too. Everybody looks nice. Where y'all going? I want to go. Ooh, that is so nice. But yeah, the sun rose at 6:48 p.m. and set at 5:38 p.m. So now we got like about 14 minutes. We have a 14-minute increase of sunlight. Since Monday, the International Space Station will be visible or was visible this morning from 5:02 to 5:08. And then the moon and Mercury are going to be in conjunction at 5:17 p.m. Well, in a few minutes. The moon will be 3.9 degrees south, and the minimal angle will occur at 7:14 p.m. And the moon will be 3.7 degrees south southeast, and that's opening up or closing up a new pattern for you. And Mercury is in your throat chakra. And for those of you guys who were in tune with me yesterday, and if not, you could check it on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Yesterday I got into the actual like chakra energies and what celestial bodies are in with chakra energies this week, because we have a few celestial bodies that have moved, this week, just like I told y'all, the sun and Venus being, the two. And right now we have Mars and Mercury. So a lot of motivation, new beginnings, assertiveness, aggressiveness, and we talked about Mars being in Taurus on the Vedic chart. So that's, you're speaking from the heart, you're speaking from your emotions. It's going to be very hard to hide different things. So, that Mercury energy is definitely in tune with your communication and expression from your emotional self, your heart, and things like that. And we found out that I believe the fifth house is on the masculine side of your heart chakra right now. So your, inner child is taking the wheel in that realm. um, but yeah, so allow your intuitive spirit and your throat chakra to, create some experiences for you, whether you're communicating to yourself, to the universe, to the people around you. Remember, we're still in that wine and crescent moon. So some of these communications will be, getting rid of certain things, cleansing certain things, you know. Don't let those conversations become too overdue, because in the summertime, we're going to be stuck in spaces that you have no business being. We don't want that. The evening visibility of Virgo begins too, and that's exciting. Your decision making mind and your patterns being more so in the forefront. It'll be easy to start identifying different patterns that you come across, especially as we start entering the summertime retrogrades. You know, give us a couple more months, but they're coming. Oh, you look nice too. Everybody looks nice. Have fun. Where y'all going? The color purple. Y'all have fun. Yeah, they'll have a great time. Erica watched it a lot. The sun also enters Pisces today around 5:50 p.m. 5:55 is a really good time because the sun will be at it'll move from 0 degree 1 minute to 1 degree 1 minute during 5:55. And then a nice little, if you guys are into numerology, Lilith will be at 4:44 and the Leo zodiac energy in the 12th house. So Lilith right now is in your third eye chakra energy. So you can find out where Lilith is so you can get tapped into your, subconscious energy in that realm. Maybe find out about some things that you're repressing about yourself, you're not allowing yourself to express, some things, and I was telling people during the planetary forecast yesterday, like you're not going to end up anywhere where you thought you were going to be, and it's cool to make plans and stuff. You definitely are setting your intentions in the universe, but just know, like, the details and stuff like that, like, they're not going to be, but the ace, if essentially is going to be what you need. Oh, you were born at 5:55. Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, so it's a good time. 5:55 is a good time. The sun entering Pisces and stuff like that. It's exciting. And then we'll get into tomorrow. Tomorrow, February 19th, we'll be at a 2% waning crescent moon. And when I talk about the moon phases at the beginning of the day, I'm talking about at like 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like as soon as the day starts, because the moon is always moving. So the percentage of moon present is forever changing. It doesn't really like stand opposed, really, to be honest with you. So this is at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We start the day off with a 2% waning crescent moon. So we started the day off still in that moon of cleansing intangible things, letting go of things. We're in that Aquarius zodiac energy. So this is the feminine side of your root chakra. So we're still in the boundaries and the discipline and order. While initially it was in your experiences and your outer self and expressing stuff, now it's going within with your thought patterns, maybe a lot of thought, boundaries that you had, binary thought process and stuff like that you could do away with. You no longer have time, energy, or space for. um be realistic with yourself. The sunrise will be at 6:47 a.m. and then the sun will set at 5:39 p.m. Regulus will be opposite the sun at 1:12 a.m. Regulus is the brightest star in the Leo constellation. It's actually 4 stars, and they like are joined together in 2 pairs. And they're one of the 4 horsemen stars. It is a royal star. It gives off the energy of riches, power, and like artistic energy. It's also called the Little King or the Heart of the Lion. It gives off the energy of Mars and Jupiter, which is like that valiant, honorable, moral, ethical, loyal warrior that you just like so admire so much, and they're just like so amazing, and they're like Hercules. Like that's the kind of energy. It's located in the heart of the lion, so, and it's a green star, so it only makes sense that it gives off that energy, and it's like completely opposite the sun right now. And so with that energy, it's again coming back to what I was telling you guys before, like where you guys thought you were going to be at, you're going to be in a whole different space. Just know about that. The moon is the smallest distance to the earth at 3:26 a.m. Just to let you guys know, this is going to be our second super new moon of the year. And so that's exciting. Your intuitive self, subconscious self stuff is going to be like at an all-time high. So it's going to be a really good time to do whatever meditative ritual you like to do around that time. That's going to be cool. So 3:26 on February 19th, tomorrow. Yeah. The International Space Station will be visible from 4:16 a.m. to 4:19 a.m. and then again at 5:49 a.m. to 5:57 a.m. And then the moon and Deneb al-Jeldi will be in conjunction from 1:35 p.m. The moon will be 3.1 degrees south, and then minimal angle at 4:20 p.m. The moon will be 2.6 degrees south southeast. And Deneb al-Jeldi is a star in the Capricorn constellation. So even though we're in the Aquarius zodiac, we're in the Capricorn constellation, and this star is located at the tail of the goat. And this is like a happy star. It gives off the energy of happiness. It is it's in alignment with the energies of Saturn and Jupiter. So it's like the challenges and like that assertive, aggressive, like disciplined, authoritative energy, but also like when you listen, here goes your cookie or your hug, or like you did a good job, like that coach that's a little tough on you, but it's like really like soft at the same time. So that's a really nice energy to tap into. It's a new pattern, either opening or closing for you in that realm where you're getting that like tough, soft love in some type of area in your life. And then also the moon and Saturn is creating a new or closing an old chapter pattern for you. Around 8:07 p.m. there will be a conjunction. The moon will be 3.9 degrees south, and then minimal angle is going to occur at 9:49 p.m. The moon will be 3.7 degrees south southeast, and that's not going to be visible, but you can still feel electromagnetic energy. Again, coming back to the fact that Saturn is the planet of challenges, discipline, order, your authoritative self, your root chakra type energy. So, just having certain thoughts and conversations with with that part of yourself, your root chakra self. Are we balanced here? Do we think good about this? What are some things that we could cleanse away from? Because now we're entering the new moon energy. So, what are some things we could, get rid of and stuff so we could start this new cycle, feeling good and not feeling like we're dragging things from old patterns. Also, the Gemini zodiac is entering the midheaven. So we had the Leo constellation, we got the Gemini zodiac up there, and Gemini zodiac enters midheaven around 5:55 p.m. So 5:55 is like a really good hour this week. Just to let you guys know, like that's probably like a really good time for you guys to tap in on stuff. And that's cool because it equals six, and six is a nice like creation with celestial bodies, and that's fun. February 20th, we're going to start off the day at a 0% new moon. The moon is going to rise at 7:19 a.m. and it will be setting at 6:17 p.m. So we finally walk into the new moon at midnight on February 20th. Excuse me. Then we're entering in with a Pisces zodiac energy. So it's a Pisces new moon and it's a super new moon. So, it will be like a really big pull on your sacral chakra, the feminine side of your sacral chakra. And as far as like the Vedic chart goes, in Pisces energy, you have Venus, which is your priorities, your sensual self, your self-esteem, and your wealth and pentacles. Jupiter is also pentacles, the generosity and the wisdom you receive along with that generosity. Chiron, the transformation of your wounds into a superpower, which in alignment with Venus and Jupiter probably start to help you feel better. Like maybe for a long time you felt like being quiet was a solution, but maybe now you feel like communication is a solution, or vice versa, and that's going to help bring you certain wisdoms and generosities that come with that. Also, Juno, bringing the information of what you need in certain bonds and relationships to continue on those bonds and relationships. So that's probably what a lot of your wounds are going to give voice to. Like, I went through this, or I have this going on, or this, that, and the third. So now I need this in a relationship. I need this in this bond. I need this in this business venture, this, that, and the third. Because trauma isn't always like some like crazy like abuse story. Sometimes trauma is just like, a business experience, signing a contract with someone and realizing that person was incapable of keeping up their end of the bond and leaving you with, the hardship of that, or the heavier end of the bag with that and stuff like that. So having these certain communications with people that you walk into business with, being present, or you walk into organizations being present with, that is another way of utilizing that Venus and Jupiter energy into Chiron. Because maybe being quiet, you thought that was the solution. Maybe if I be quiet about this, eventually, it'll work in my favor. I'm being the good guy in the group. I'm being the good guy in the organization, in the business, whatever, whatever. It's cool, it's cool. But you've learned that it's not cool. So now you need certain things. Also, that's your place of passion. So allowing your passionate self and what it is that you really want to do to guide the way is also really good for you, because it's around that Venus and Jupiter energy that's bringing you your pinnacles, bringing you your wealth and abundance and your generosity, as well as your wisdom. Allow that to be your light. And also Aries is in Pisces energy too. Aries is that revolutionary spirit. It's your rebellion energy, your like feminine rebellion energy at that, bringing in like new beginnings. It's like a feminine Mars energy, a feminine Aries energy. So, and then the ninth house is also there, and that's the energy of expansion, expanding your education. So, um, all that to say, having this Pisces super moon, this super new moon energy in alignment with all of that wrapped up, I'm pretty sure like when you hear about, your different pinnacles and stuff like that, you're coming up to the same crossroads of like, oh, should I do what I really love to do, or should I do what I have been, trained to do or educated to do, or what I should be doing as a mother, as a woman, as a man, as a father, a husband, a wife, a son, a daughter, whatever, a brother, whatever, whatever. Like, it's a crossroad there. And I'm telling you, if you go with your passion, and if you go with what it is that you're supposed to be doing here, everything is going to come from for you, everything you need. No, it's not going to look the way that you thought it would look, because a lot of the things that you think aren't your thoughts, you know a lot of the things that you think are supposed to be the reciprocation of what it is that you're doing is not yours. It's not for you. That's somebody else's experience, and you watch their experience and you think that's supposed to be yours, but that's not yours either. So, really, like, allow your passion to like lead the way, and it's going to give you the things that you need and you really deserve, and that's really for you. But you have to, trust that it's really for you. If you're not going to walk into trusting, and you're going to walk into a doubtful, and I think it is, and I'm only going to stick in it if it's this hard. If it gets that hard, then I'm not going to do it no more, because it just doesn't make sense for it to get any harder than that. And if you keep doing it like that, peace, peace, welcome to the planetary forecast. If you keep thinking about it like that, and if you keep moving around like that, you're never going to get to that place of new muscle. And that's me rambling right now, but that's new moon energy. That's new moon energy, like starting over. And and I really hope that y'all use this week of the waning crescent moon to really, rid yourself of certain people, places, and things that were creating, that you were allowing to create discipline and order. Like, you were allowing certain traumatic experiences that other people had with other people to create boundaries and authority in your root chakra. I want you to even pay attention to those little nicks and crannies in the corner of your root chakras and clean those out, because they're blocking you from different opportunities and different, places and things you could experience. Um, remove some of those, old like things that you don't even know where they came from. It's just like locked in your head, like, don't go here, don't do this, we don't do this, we don't do that. There's really like, it's time for cleansing of your root chakra space, all in all. And hopefully when we walk into this Piscean energy, you will have done that, and that leaves you open to really accepting the downloads and allowing your subconscious to put you in the places where you belong to receive what it is you deserve. The moon is going to rise at 7:19 a.m. and it's going to set at 6:17 p.m. The sun will be rising at 6:45 a.m. and setting at 5:40 p.m. The new moon will be rising at 2:06 a.m. The moon will be between the sun and the earth, so it's not visible, and that's the science behind the new moon energy. And I think I do have a little visual of the new moon up here. There we go. And the new super new moon is the moon that's closest to Earth. This is the second one this year. The last time it happened was January 21st. And also, we had two super full moons this year, and they'll be August 1st and August 30th. So we get two super full moons and a blue moon in the same month. And then you can know the Lions Gate opens. Leo season is just so fun. It's always like a big spectacle, fireworks, and everything. It's a great time. Anyway. The International Space Station will be visible from 5:03 a.m. to 5:08 a.m. The new moon and so the new moon plus yesterday's perigee, which is the moon being the closest, smallest distance to the Earth, which occurs February 19th at 3:26 a.m. So between it being that and those two will equal high tides. So we've been like experiencing like rainstorms and stuff like that. You can expect that to keep happening like off and on, like a little bipolarism with the weather because it's a super new moon and it's, yeah, because pretty much it's a super new moon, expect like a little bipolar energy, and then the Venus enters Aries zodiac February 20th as well around 3:30 a.m. So that's very exciting. New beginnings in your heart chakra, ruling over your heart chakra, and it's still in the eighth house of transformation and aligning with your solar plexus chakra with that eighth house energy as well. So that's very exciting. And then February 21st, we'll have a 1% waxing crescent moon. So now we're starting to add things. So as you shut away energies and stuff like that, now we're adding. This is the moon of regeneration. Positive changes are starting to take form. You're starting to get that retribution for the things you took away out of your space. This is the first phase after the new moon. It's time to sort through confusing emotions and set your mind to your goals, your intentions, and your mindset that you have created during the new moon. Also, during the new moon, just take the time out to start absorbing, different downloads rather than projecting your desires. Because we do have a tendency to always be projecting, like, I want this, I want this, I want this. Just take a time to be still and just listen to what the universe has for you, has to say to you, this time around. Also, did I say when the moon was going to rise and fall? The sunrise was going to be at 6:44 a.m. and the sun will be setting at 5:41 p.m. The International Space Station will be visible from 4:16 a.m. to 4:19 a.m. and then again from 5:49 a.m. to 5:56 a.m. The moon and Neptune will be in conjunction at 1:06 p.m. The moon will be 3.2 degrees south. Minimal angle will occur at 5:01 p.m. The moon will be 2.6 degrees southeast, and we'll be able to observe that at 6:51 p.m. with a 2.8 southeast separation. So Neptune is that, the subconscious energy, your dreams, where you're daydreaming, your mindset and vibe, and the moon being in Pisces energy, the moon will also be aligning with the sun as well, around that space and time. So you have your so we went over this yesterday with your third eye chakra being, the sun and the moon and, the duality of those two energies. So you have a nice, balance with those two energies being in the same zodiac energy. And then it's aligning with your heart chakra. So, and then your heart chakra is also entering in the Aries zodiac energy of new beginnings as well. So all that to say, I always I tell you guys, this is the season of meditation because it's still winter time and it's still time of going inward. And this is the time where like it's the hardest because well, the most difficult because it's like the sun is coming out and you're starting to get those celestial bodies into your Aries energy, that solar plexus energy that's like, okay, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up, it's time to wake up, but it's still not time yet. Like you still have these energies that are sitting in Pisces energy, which is, still like trying to decipher what flow we're going with. When we do rise, when, our fire does rise out of our solar plexus for the spring and summertime, what direction are we going in? What are we doing? The planning and organizing. You don't want to just shoot up and you don't have no direction to go, because then that's how you end up in November, December, like, dang, where all my money go? Where all my time go? I didn't do this all summer. I didn't do that. I didn't do none of my plans. And that's because, you're not being present and you're not being patient and you are already in spring, summertime, and it's like, no, slow down, we're still in winter. A lot of times we complain about the whole Groundhog Day and saying, oh man, we don't want the extra months of winter, but sometimes those are a blessing and we need those because we need that extra time to, really slow down and, get those extra things out of our, right now it's our root chakra because our moon is going through root chakra zodiacs. But get those things out of our space that don't serve us, that aren't serving us, that are being distractions, that are causing us to get in our own way. You have some principles in your life that cause you to get in your own way. Maybe, principles that cause you to be modest, or not market your stuff the way you're supposed to be, or not have certain conversations, certain rooms, because you telling yourself you don't deserve to be there for some reason, or you don't want to integrate with, well, not integrate, but interact with those people for some reason, or just different things going on, and it's blocking what you're supposed to be doing because you got all this nonsense in your root chakra that doesn't belong there. And it's easy to pay attention to the lowest hanging fruit. Like, oh yeah, 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 I'll clean my room, I'll throw away old clothes, I'll throw away old mail, I'll get rid of certain people, places, and things that irk my nerves. But you have to really, like, okay, now what are you going to do about your behaviors? What are you going to do about your mindsets? What are you going to do about all your excuses that you've been using, saying, oh well, because this happened to me, or because this person told me something about that person, or because I seen this on TV, or because I watched all these other people's experiences, or I heard about them. Now I'm going to put certain principles and ideals and boundaries in my root chakra about those things in response to those things. And they're in your way. Those things are in your way. And, you should remove them. that's what that's what I got. You should remove them. Um so with the moon and Neptune and the moon and Venus starting their new patterns on February 21st with the conjunctions, hopefully that is a really strong motivation space if you haven't already started removing things, as you start to remove things. um the vertical line of Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, and the moon is also going to be visible. So that would be pretty cool. It's like a nice little like portal opening with the generosity energy and wisdom and your priorities and your wealth and your, love and stuff like that, your subconscious and your intuition. Like, definitely a space to get downloads in. I would highly suggest wearing like maybe some type of vertical jewelry on your body, aligning those crystals accordingly to that planetary alignment. Ooh, yeah, do that on that day. Just do your meditation. Sounds like a fun time. February 22nd will still be in that waxing crescent moon, the moon of regeneration, and allowing your changes to take form and the transformations to occur, because we're coming into that Aries energy, a new beginning. So just like the thing with water energy is like water like smooths anything down. Like I'm a earth energy, I'm like rock. If you put enough water on me, it's going to smooth me down, until like one of those like little water stones, or sand, and it calms down fire, and it soothes down the ether. It's the same way it kind of soothes fire, like quenches fire, and also put it with air, It creates nice little orbs or blobs of water, or the very strong meniscus. Meniscus, the hydrogen oxygen bond is like one of the strongest bonds ever, you know. And what is just a really good energy, and you let that shape and mold you, and figure out like what directions you're going. That's what this time is for. Like, we're still in this winter time, but now it's like, all right, how are you going to go along the current? Are you swimming along the current? Are you swimming against the current? Are you the manipulator? Are you being manipulated? Ask these questions, towards the different branches and extensions of yourself in your life, you know, and really listen to the answers that you receive, because we're in our last seasons of the winter time. So, you know, take that time to do that, because when the summertime comes, the summertime is going to be even faster, and it's going to be like, you getting pulled in directions. You're going to see yourself falling in the same stuff, and you're like, why did that happen to me again? Why did this happen? And it's because you really didn't spend the winter time. Like, you was too busy being in months ahead planning for the summertime when you should have been in the winter time. Be present, be present. Um, but yeah, the moon is going to rise at 8:14 a.m. and it'll be setting at 8:46 p.m. We'll still be in that Pisces zodiac energy. The sun is going to rise at 6:43 a.m. and it will be setting at 5:43 p.m. The International Space Station will be visible from 5:02 a.m. to 5:07 a.m. The Earth shine on the moon will be creating a full moon orb on the moon again just before sunrise. And then the moon and Jupiter are going to create a new pattern. They're going to be in conjunction from 6:14 p.m. The moon will be 1.5 degrees south, and minimal angle is going to occur at 7:30 p.m. The moon will be 1.3 degrees south southeast, and it's not going to be visible, but you can still feel the effects of it. And Jupiter is the energy of wisdom and generosity, and you know um expanding your mindset and your philosophy on things. Also, be mindful of imbalances in your sensual self and overindulgence. But with balance, comes really good experiences and expansion. But that's what the moon and Jupiter is going to give you in your intuitive self. And then there's going to be a triangle with the moon, the Jupiter, Venus, and then the moon, Jupiter, and Vesta. So it's going to be like, you can make multiple triangles out of this angle that's going to occur. And I have that. So these are the this is Jupiter, the moon, Vesta, and Venus. So you can make like multiple triangles. Triangles is the energy of creation. You can make a nice little skinny gateway triangle right here, with Venus being, the foreground if you want to focus on wealth and love and self-love and forgiveness or moving on. Or you can make Vesta the front point with Venus and the moon as support, or Venus and Jupiter as support. And Vesta is the energy of your passion and things. So if you want to become more in alignment with your passions and stuff, you have this energy of your Oshun love, and then Olukun, your generosity and wisdom, or the the moon of your intuition, your intuitive self. You can also make the moon, your intuition, the top part, with Vesta and Venus being your supports, your passion and love, pushing you towards your intuition or pushing you towards your generosity. Ooh, that's a nice one though. I would love for, yeah, I like that one, with Jupiter being the front one. And then, so these are all the different triangles you can make, you know, depends on what you want to do for yourself, what kind of energy you want to create for yourself. But that's February 22nd if you want to get in alignment with those planetary, triangles, and create something with that. Um, I'll be back, of course, next week to talk about more things that's going on in the month of February with the planets. February 24th, we'll have a waxing moon, and that'll be in conjunction with Uranus. And that's the next like big pattern that we have coming up. And Uranus is a very huge planet with progressive energy, and that's in the Taurus zodiac energy. So that's in your pentacles and things. So I wanted to include that because talking about this triangle with these energies, that's also kind of like why I like Jupiter being in the forefront too. Uranus being progressive and that Taurian energy can bring like, a really cool progressive energy with your pentacles with that Venus and stuff like that. So that's what I have for you guys this week for the planetary forecast. If you guys aren't doing anything later on tonight, myself and Danielle will be on Virgo Virgin Talk. We're going to be talking about alien interactions today, and I'm pretty excited about that. We'll see you guys later on tonight on YouTube, Virgo's L. And also, if you guys are interested in getting a one-on-one natal chart reading, I am an astrologist. I go over your different charts, whether it be your tropical, how you think you're supposed to be, your sidereal, your emotions, or your nakshatras, which is the different events happening in your life. I also do draconic charts where you get into your past lives and your past selves and your soul's desires. And I can also tell the story with multiple charts talking about your past lives up into the present. I will also get into numerology and geometria and different zodiac energies from different cultures, synastry charts with yourself and your loved ones, your children, your business, or even astrocartography when we get into, your natal chart, the natal chart of the area you live in, or the planetary placements of your natal chart in alignment with where those planets were over top of the globe as we know it. And so, I do all that stuff. But it all starts off with a 22-minute consultation, which is free. And you could book that with me, and I will link with you, and we can, talk about your needs and your curiosities. And I will let you know what I have for you that can help you in your journey. And so, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next week. And, you guys stay tuned for the the astrological, astronomical updates and enjoy this sun entering Pisces in about 20 minutes. Peace, peace.